channel. I'm Madami and today I'm going to read you Alice in Wonderland. So let's get to it. One summer's day, Alice and her kitten Diana were sitting in the branches of a tree. Down below, her sister was reading aloud from a history book. But Alice wasn't listening. She was dreaming of a world where cats and dogs or rabbits were clothes and lived in little houses. She picked up Diana and climbed down from the tree. Just then, a white rabbit came scuttling along. He was clutching a very big watch. The white rabbit looked at his watch as he ran past Alice, muttering, "I'm late! I'm late!" "How curious," gasped Alice. "What could a rabbit possibly be late for?" "Please," she cried, "wait for me." But the rabbit didn't stop. I'm late, he cried, and disappeared at the foot of a tree. Alice was now very curious. She squeezed into the dark hole and crawled after him. Suddenly, Alice found herself falling down. Luckily, her dress ballooned out like a parachute, and she began floating. Hanging on the walls of the tunnel were all kinds of strange pictures and furniture. At last, Alice reached the bottom. The white rabbit was just disappearing round a corner at the end of a very long corridor. Wait! Cried Alice, chasing after him. At the end of the corridor was a tiny door. Alice tried the doorknob. "Eek!" cried a voice. The doorknob was speaking. "I'm looking for the white rabbit," said Alice. "Please let me through." "Sorry, you're much too big," replied the doorknob. "Try the bottle on the table over there." Alice looked around and saw the bottle labelled "Drink Me." Alice tasted a little. Soon she had finished every drop. All at once, Alice began to shrink. Soon she was so tiny she was able to go through the little tiny door. On the other side of the door, Alice found herself on the edge of a large forest. She saw the white rabbit through the trees in the distance. Alice started to run after him, but suddenly her way was blocked by two little fat men, Tweedledum and Tweedledee. "My name is Alice," said Alice. "I'm curious to know where the white rabbit is going." The two little fat men both began talking at the same time. Alice couldn't understand what they were saying, so she set off in another direction. Soon Alice came to a little house. As she walked up the path, the white rabbit ran out of the front door. He was now dressed in a tunic and a ruff. "Oh my, I'm late, he cried. Then he said to Alice, "Go get my gloves, quickly." Alice was too surprised to argue and went inside the little house. Alice searched everywhere. Finally, she lifted the lid of a jar and found some biscuits. They looked very, very good to eat, so she took one. Alice started to grow and grow and grow. Soon she was so big that her hands were going through the windows and her legs were bursting through the door. "A monster!" cried the white rabbit. "Perhaps if I find something else to eat," said Alice, "it will make me small again." She stretched out her hand and pulled out a carrot from the garden. When Alice ate it, she began to shrink. Soon Alice was so small she could crawl under the front door. The rabbit, pleased that the monster had disappeared, ran off in the garden. Alice tried to follow him, but now she was so tiny that the grass seemed like a huge forest for her. "And who are you?" asked a sleepy voice. It was a caterpillar, lying lazily on a mushroom. "I'm Alice," replied Alice, "and I wish I was a little taller." Suddenly, the caterpillar turned into a butterfly. I can help, said the butterfly, pointing at the mushroom. One side of this will make you taller, and the other side will make you smaller. Then the butterfly fluttered away. Alice looked at the mushroom, trying to decide which side would make her taller. Finally, she broke a piece from each side and took a large bite from one. Luckily, Alice had chosen the correct piece and soon was back to her normal height. She dropped the pieces of mushroom in her pocket. Walking along, Alice heard singing. She turned around to see a toothy smile and a pair of eyes. As Alice looked more closely, an old-looking cat with purple stripes appeared. I'm looking for the white rabbit, said Alice. Which way should I go? I'm the Cheshire Cat, said the odd-looking cat, and if I was looking for a white rabbit, I'll ask the Mad Hatter and the March Hare. That way, he said, and he pointed towards a path in the forest. Then the Cheshire Cat vanished. So Alice followed the path and soon heard the Mad Hatter and the March Hare singing. They were having tea at a big table with many places. We're having an unbirthday party, said the Mad Hatter. We have one birthday a year, so there are 364 unbirthdays. The March Hare asked Alice where she had come from. It all started when I was sitting with Yana, my cat, began Alice. Cat! Said a squeaky voice. A dormouse jumped out of a teapot and ran around the table. Catch him! Cried the Mad Hatter. No time, I'm late, said the White Rabbit, magically appearing, but once again he disappeared into the distance. Wait! Shouted Alice, getting up from the table and following him. By now, Alice was tired of the strange ways of Wonderland. I'm going home, she said. You can't go home without meeting the Queen, said the Cheshire Cat, suddenly appearing. As he spoke, a door in the nearby tree opened. I'm going home, she said. You can't go home without meeting the Queen, said the Cheshire Cat, suddenly appearing. As he spoke, a door in the nearby tree opened. Stepping through it, Alice found herself in the palace gardens. She was amazed to see 2 playing cards painted white roses with red paint. The cards explained that the Queen of Hearts had ordered red roses. They were hoping the white roses in red and hoped that she wouldn't notice. If the Queen did notice the white roses, she would chop off their heads. Just then, the doors of the palace opened and out marched the White Rabbit. The Queen of Hearts, he announced, and the King. The Queen walked up to the rose tree. Who's been painting my roses? Red. Off with their heads. Then she spotted Alice. Alice trembled. I'm trying to find my way home, she said. Your way? Cried the Queen. All the ways they belong to me. Off with her head. Then the Queen changed her mind. Do you play croquet? She asked. Yes, Your Majesty, replied Alice. Now let the game begin, ordered the Queen. Alice had never seen such a curious game before. The balls were hedgehogs, and the mallets were flamingos. As the Queen was about to take a shot with a flamingo, the Cheshire Cat appeared. The Queen's flamingo panicked. In confusion, the Queen lost her balance and fell over. She was furious. Off with her head, she yelled at Alice. Shouldn't she have a trial first? Said the King. Very well, sighed the Queen. So everyone was put in the courtroom and Alice was put on trial. The Queen sat on the judge's bench. The prisoner is accused of tricking Her Majesty in a game of croquet, said the White Rabbit. Never mind all that, the Queen shouted. Guilty! Off with her head! Shouldn't we call some witnesses? Said the King. Very well, the Queen snapped, but get on with it. First witness was the March Hare. Then came the Dormouse, followed by the Mad Hatter. At that moment, the Cheshire Cat appeared. "Look, Your Majesty, the Cheshire Cat," said Alice. Immediately, the Dormouse jumped out of his teapot. He ran up and down the courtroom, squeaking. Everyone chased after him. Then Alice remembered the pieces of mushroom in her pocket and took a bite from one. She started growing and growing and growing till she was so huge. Everyone was terrified. Off with her, but before the Queen could finish, Alice said, "You don't frighten me. You're just a bad-tempered old queen." No sooner had Alice spoken than she felt herself shrinking again. "Now what were you saying, my dear?" asked the Queen. Alice fled from the courtroom. She was so lost in a maze of hedges. She could still hear the Queen's voice, but it sounded very far away now, as if in a dream. All of a sudden, she heard someone calling her, "Alice, please wake up." It was her sister. "You've been asleep for a very long time. Can you remember anything from your history lesson?" Alice rubbed her eyes. Diana was curled up in her lap, fast asleep. "I've had such an exciting time," said Alice. "There was a white rabbit and I followed him and—" "Oh, never mind," said Alice's sister. "It's time to go home for tea." Alice picked up her kitten. "You know, Diana," she said, "maybe I'll stay in the real world after all." I hope you enjoyed this book about Alice. Also, if you want, you can watch the film about this. I really like this book about Alice because she actually is my age. So yeah. Don't forget to put a like on this video and smash that subscribe button. Bye!